Hello, my name is Elon Chark, and today I will be applying for Athlete Marketing Manager for Red Bull. Part of the reason I believe that I am a great fit for this position is that Red Bull's mission statement is that they understand the life of a high-level athlete. And I believe that I have all the needs through my past experiences and being at Ryerson for the last 3 years studying sports media to fulfill all those needs and understand the high-level athlete. For example, at the beginning of COVID-19, me and my peers were tasked with coming up with a plan for the Athlete Institute, which is an extremely high-level basketball academy in Canada. They produce players like Thon Makers in the NBA, Jamal Murray, who's on the brisk of being an all-star. So over the multiple Zoom calls that we had with their team at Athlete Institute, the CEO, the founders, the trainers, we decided that it's best for them to develop an app to continue training their athletes through home, through Zoom, through specialized videos, because that way we all know that being an athlete is a 24/7 job and you have to get better every day, and COVID-19 has really slowed that down. So taking a Zoom call with their creators and discussing what they could possibly do has really opened my eyes about what it takes to be a high-level athlete and understanding what they go through. As well, another time was when I was with the BC Lions and I was picking up all their players from the airport, and it was just myself. I did not have anyone with me, and I was new to the organization. There was about 50 new players coming from the US, never been to Canada before, didn't know what to expect. They arrive through the gates. I'm the first one they see, my BC Lions gear, and I say, "Welcome to the team, how are you?" And I got to tell them, you have to wait about an hour for the next player to arrive, and they have to wait, and that's something that's hard to do, but that's the responsibility that I had. And looking back at it, getting to know all these athletes and introducing them to Canada was a great experience. And getting to talk to them, I really understand their life and how hard it is to be a high-level athlete, all the training that goes in there. And that's something that at Red Bull they do very well and they understand. And that's something that I believe is a strength and that I can contribute as the Red Bull Athlete Marketing Manager. A big part of why I love the Red Bull organization is that you have to fit their lifestyle and understand their network. And over the last 3 years at Ryerson studying sports media, I believe that I have gathered enough well-worthy contacts and through my work experience, for example, working at TSN 1040 Radio in Vancouver, I met a lot of industry professionals and athletes, general managers, coaches that work in this lifestyle and the bubble of athletes that really expanded my network. As well as in school at Ryerson in classes like sport journalism and TV production. The highest level industry professionals come in to talk to us and give us lectures. And after, you can go introduce yourself, talk about what you're interested, for example. And I believe through these contacts, my network has been built very well for something like Red Bull, where it's all about the network and the lifestyle that you live. And I believe that I fit that exact lifestyle of living like an athlete, a former athlete myself, but now I love being in contact with athletes, helping them, studying media, covering games, sports marketing, all that good stuff. And that's why working for Red Bull is awesome, because they're young, their demographic is similar to myself. I understand the demographic, and I've studied sports marketing in school for athletes. That's why I want to work for Red Bull organization. I believe that my greatest strength is coachability and adaptability for any situation that I'm put in. For example, I worked with Jay's Care organization alongside Kids Safe Project Society, where we go to inner city schools in the downtown east side of Vancouver, which is a very rough place, and we teach these kids baseball. And I was the director, so I went through planning for this summer camp and going through the steps and teaching these kids something they've never seen before, baseball or sports for that matter. A lot of these kids, their parents are drug addicts. A lot of them they're not in contact with their parents at all. It's a very sad situation. But for me to go in, teach them discipline, it was very eye-opening for me, because I had never dealt with kids like this before. I hadn't really seen them in person. Downtown east side, it's a very crime-filled place, a lot of homeless people, a lot of drug addicts. So going down there, teaching baseball to these kids 3 times a week for the course of 10 weeks, it was a great time. But I personally had to adapt a lot because I had never dealt with anything like that. And, over the first couple of weeks, maybe it was a little rough because these kids, they didn't really know how to treat some adults with respect, especially new ones. But, over the course of the 10 weeks, they got to know me, I got to know them, and it was a really great experience. And I believe that my adaptability in that situation changed me for the better. And now that I've been through that, I can coach myself through new situations, and I believe I can adapt to any new environment. My greatest weakness would have to be, for me, it's a little hard for me to let go of things, of work that I've previously done in the past. For example, I'll think back to a project I did maybe a year ago, and I'll be like, I should have done this. I could have done this better. I should have said this. And I reflect on old stuff, which is a good thing, but sometimes I don't let it go and I let it hinder my future. So that's something that I need to work on. And just once I finish something and it's not the best or something I didn't like personally, I have to let it go, and I understand that, and I'm working on that. So that's my biggest weakness. I just, sometimes I hold on to the things that maybe I should let go. So far in my young career, I believe that my greatest accomplishment was when I was at TSN 1040, working as an intern, and sometimes I would go on air on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but this was not one of those days, and they were talking about the Toronto Raptors potentially trading for Kawhi Leonard, so before the trade happened. And one of the radio hosts, Jason Botchford, who's now passed away, very sad, they were talking about the trade, and he called me up because he knew I knew a lot about basketball, so he called me up to come on air. I wasn't ready for this or anything, but he called me up to get my opinion, which meant a lot. And I said the Raptors should trade for Kawhi Leonard, and they would have a much better chance to win a championship. And that came true. So thankfully for Jason, for calling me up in that moment, had the confidence, and I predicted it right. So that's my so far my greatest accomplishment.